Hey, everybody, welcome back to another Meaningful Monday. I'm back after a couple weeks. I was off last week because I wouldn't call it off. I was actually sick, had strep throat or something with my throat. It was not COVID, thankfully. So, yeah, hope everyone's having an awesome day so far and had a great weekend. Today, we're talking about something that's pretty close to my heart, I think, and hopefully resonates with some of you at least, is the idea of comparing yourself. Now, in today's world, social media and everything like that, you can't help but see all the posts from people all over the world, all doing different things, traveling, exploring, being on the beach, being literally all over the world. Even with COVID, you see all these people traveling, and it seems like they're enjoying their lives and having the best possible life out there, and YOLO, and all these different things. And then you also see folks who are not necessarily traveling, but also being successful in business or doing really, really well in what they're doing, and you can't help but compare yourself, like, oh, why am I not so successful? Why am I not doing as well as that person? Like, why is that person enjoying their lives more than I'm enjoying it? Or why are they able to do that? And ultimately, people, I mean, it's human nature to compare yourself, so it's not, there's nothing wrong with doing that. But it's the important thing is how you react to that thing, right? Again, it's taking a step back and being able to look at your situation, your story, and understand you don't have to do what everyone else is doing. You don't have to be where everyone else is, right? Social media is a great example. You're only seeing barely the surface, and not even actually the surface, because let's be honest, authenticity wise, social media is pretty much like a 1 out of 10 in terms of authenticity scale, right? You're seeing the best possible situation of that person's life, and if that, even if not, it may not even be real, right? Who knows how many takes it took to get that person to see that picture or get that picture that they wanted. I'll give you a good example. I went to dinner with some friends on Friday, and we went to this new restaurant in DC. It was a really nice place, really beautiful decor, just opened a little while ago, and it was a great experience. Really good food, a little pricey for me, but it was good. It was fun. But on the way out, I saw someone, this girl, she was standing by the door, and she had her friend taking pictures of her for like 10 minutes. And I mean, she didn't move. She just posed and like moved a little bit, like maybe like an inch, and like she was literally modeling at the door, blocking our way out. And we were like, we had to ask her to walk by because just she's standing in our way. But she sat there for like a good 10 minutes, again, taking pictures, having a friend take pictures of her with a cell phone camera to get the right picture. And of those, I don't know, 100 pictures she probably took, she's only going to use one of those on social media, right? From that angle. Maybe she probably used additional ones from the actual dinner or from drinks or whatever they were doing. But you're only seeing that one point of view, that one moment in time. You're not seeing anything else that that person is going through. You're not seeing any of the struggle that she's dealing with, anything outside of that. It's really easy to judge from one photo or one moment or 1 second you see someone, but you have no idea what it took for them to get to where they are or what they're dealing with outside of that moment, right? The picture is very, very focused on one aspect, and it's intentionally so, right? I do photography on the side, and one of the things we do is use perspective to our advantage, right? You're not seeing anything that's happening around the photo, anything that's happening behind the photographer, anything's happening behind the camera, right? You're only seeing what that lens is focusing on, and you're only allowed to see that for a good reason. It makes for some amazing pictures, but also makes for a skewed perspective, where if all you see is life through that lens, you're never going to see anything bad. You're never going to see any of the frustrating situations. You're never going to see any of the challenges that they deal with. So you don't actually know what they've gone through to get there. I think it was Elon Musk said, it took me 20 years to be an overnight success, or was it Jeff Bezos or one of those guys? But either way, that's ultimately the entrepreneurship story of these companies like Amazon, Netflix, Tesla. They didn't start out where they are right now. They didn't start out as billion-dollar companies. They started out very, very small. Netflix originally sent out DVDs to people's homes, right? It was a mail-in DVD service, like a movie service, movie rental service. And Blockbuster could have bought Netflix for, I think it was $100 million or something like that, way back, or 10 million, some ridiculously low amount compared to what it's worth right now, way back then. And ultimately, Netflix eclipsed Blockbuster and put them out of business. Perspective-wise, that's a huge thing to look at, because you're saying, okay, look at Netflix now. In the micro moment of Netflix's stock, if you only look at that one moment and you see where they're at, you're not going to see the story to get there. You're not going to see the ups and downs. Bitcoin's another great example in the crypto world. Bitcoin was, for the longest time, was below $1. It was below $10. It was a huge crash in crypto for a while. There's a pseudo bear market right now, right? But that's happened before in the past, right? 2008 was a huge plummet for the stock market. Again, you're looking at these moments in time, and those moments don't tell the whole story. So understanding that your story is not a moment. Any story is not a moment in time. You can pick someone's best moment to judge them by or their worst moment to judge them by, and neither one of those is accurate or worth using to judge someone by or to compare yourself to, for that matter. So there's no point in comparing yourself because you only compare yourself to that moment. What if you compared yourself to a moment 10 years ago for that person or 10 years in the future? What if you compared your moment right now to your own moment in the past? And that's where you want to really want to compare, is yourself to yourself. That's the only real comparison. In science, there's this idea of the control, right? The control of many variables as possible, because that's the only way you can get a real experiment. And I'm kind of nerding out here because I was in the science and tech world growing up as a kid. But when you talk about experimentation and really understanding what the cause and effect situations are, you have to control all the variables. And when you look at just one situation, let's take, for example, one person over here, person A and person B. In this moment in time, let's say person B is making $100,000 a year and person A is making $50,000 a year. If you just compare based on just raw salary, yeah, person B seems like they're getting a better end of the deal, right? But then you look at the fact that person B, maybe they've been in business for 20 years. Person A just started. Literally, like, let's say person A just started this year. Making $50,000 a year profit in your first year in business is pretty freaking good, actually. And you don't even know what their debt situation is. Person B could have $5 million in debt. In that case, and person A could have $0 in debt. In that case, $50,000 is profit, whereas $100,000 you're still in the hole. You see what I'm saying about the variables? The variables matter. The different things outside of that one picture, that one moment, that one point in time, or that one data point, those variables matter a lot. And if you don't consider those things, you're not going to have a clear picture. And the other thing is, it's impossible to consider all those things because you're never going to know someone's entire story. So the only person to really compare yourself to ever is yourself yesterday. And I know that sounds like kind of cliche, but really it's worth reminding yourself. You can only compare yourself to you because you are the only person whose variables are worth comparing to or able to be compared to. It's only a one-to-one to yourself because everyone else is either a day or minutes even older than you or younger than you, or had different experiences professionally or personally, romantically. There's no point in comparing any of that stuff. Every person is different in so many different ways. Even twins, genetic twins are completely different in many, many ways. Yeah, genetically they're the same, but ultimately they're not the same in so many other ways that you can't possibly compare them. So what's the point of comparing yourself to anyone else? So take your time, look at what you've done, honor your achievements, and also look for opportunities to improve yourself. But only compare yourself to yourself yesterday. Obviously, you can celebrate other folks' victories and help them, like really be there for them and support them. And you can also look at other folks and say, I don't want to make that mistake, or I don't want to do that way, or I want to, if I go down that path that person went down, I would do it a little bit differently. You can absolutely do that. But don't ever take the time and say, oh, why is that person doing so well and I'm not doing that well? Why is that person winning and I'm losing over here? It's not a win-loss game. It's not a zero-sum game between winning and losing or success and failure, right? Just because you succeed or someone else succeeds doesn't mean you have to fail or they have to fail. A lot of people can succeed at the same time. And not everyone's going to win every situation. Not everyone's going to be successful all the time. But you can invest more time and energy to really work towards that and really build yourself up to really be that successful person. And only you can define success for yourself. You can't measure yourself by someone else's standards, including your parents. As an Indian person, my parents are probably never going to actually be proud of me. So I pretty much accepted that. I got to work on myself and figure out where that lands for me. What do I want to accomplish? I have a lot more that I want to accomplish, absolutely. But I have to understand I've done some things that I want to do. Am I as far along as I thought I would be when I'm 37? Probably not. But compared to where I was last year, I've made a whole lot of progress. Compared to where I was the year before, again, a whole lot of progress. So yeah, I'm not perfect and no one's perfect. We're all doing the best we can, right? But look for opportunities to improve yourself, but only compare yourself to you, because ultimately that's the only person you can really truly make a comparison to. So hang in there, try to avoid social media in terms of those comparisons and understand that those folks are not living that life that you think that they're living. That's not all rainbows and butterflies and traveling to the beaches all the time and having all these amazing experiences. That's great, but what else are they dealing with? What are they missing out on? what experiences are they sacrificing for those kinds of crazy, amazing, adventures that they're going on, right? Think about that for a moment. We all need some balance of stability and adventure, and if you don't have one and have the other, then you're missing out one or the other, right? Anyway, I hope this video was helpful for you guys. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button if you like the video. If someone in your life needs to see this or if this might resonate with you or someone else you care about, please feel free to share this video and like and comment below. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Let me know where are some areas where you're comparing yourself, where you feel like you want to compare yourself, where you have compared yourself in the past, and how's that made you feel? How's that made you better or worse? I'd love to hear more about that. Thanks a lot, guys. Take care. Stay safe. Have an amazing week, and I will see you guys next week.